Don't you black people ever forget one thing. Jesus was not a white man like me.
Hello, good people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So the white people are really getting furious. Why? When they understood that Jesus was black, they are getting confused. A number of ministers, that is Louis Farrakhan, Dr. Umar, and a white pastor in America came out and claimed that Jesus was black. Louis Farrakhan says that Jesus was black. And actually the white people are aware that Jesus was black. He says that also the Pope is aware Jesus was black. Dr. Umar says that Jesus was black and he actually came from Africa. This other white pastor says that Jesus was black and he was not white like him. He gives an example with himself. So these are sparked debates in America. So let's just listen to this video, and at the end of it, we're going to have a good discussion.
Man, I know y'all mad as hell. Y'all been Christians y'all whole life, and not one time did y'all ever sit back and think that y'all was worshiping a black man. Y'all been worshiping the greatest man to ever exist, and come to find out he is black. And the only way you find this hard to believe is because you really racist. And you more concerned with believing a lie than the actual truth. All the prominent figures that you grew up learning about that did all these great things that you seen in church, from Moses to King David to Solomon, all of them, all the disciples, all of them are black. And that's why John 8:32 said, "You shall know the truth and it shall make you free." A lot of y'all enslaved into a lie and y'all comfortable with it. Shalom.
When Leonardo da Vinci painted The Last Supper in 1482, 10 years before Columbus, that white Jesus, still with us now, still in the black church now, that white Jesus, that pale-skinned, blue-eyed, blonde hair, deified white people in the minds of Africans. It has deified us so much that most black churches will never get rid of that white Jesus, even though they know Jesus wasn't white. I spoke in Fort Lauderdale a couple years ago. There was a fundraiser for the Marcus Garvey Technical School in Kingston, Jamaica. I met a brother there from Jamaica. He said, "Dr. Umar, let me tell you a story. True story." He said, "I belong to a church in Jamaica that has a white Jesus." He said, "I went out and got a black artist to paint the most beautiful black Christ you can ever see in your life. I told the pastor, we got a black Jesus now. You can get rid of that." And the black pastor in Jamaica told him that painting will never be hung in here. This is the Jesus that we will serve. When your enemy becomes your deity, when your deity and your enemy are one in the same, and you are comfortable with that, you deserve to be a slave. Yeah.
Now listen to me carefully, brothers and sisters.
And don't you black people ever forget one thing. The man that helped Jesus carry that cross was a black man. And don't ever forget another thing. Jesus belongs to Africa as much as he does to Europe and Asia. He was born in that part of the world that touches Africa and Asia and Europe, and Jesus was not a white man like me, nor was he as black as some of you. We don't know what the color of his skin, but it must have been a dark color like the people of his day, because he was a man like them. Don't ever say it's a white man's religion or a black man's religion. It's a world religion. He belongs to the world.
Yes, my people. White people, why are you all getting so upset when you hear that Jesus is black? And for 2,000 years, black people have been accepting, most of them have been accepting your lies that Jesus is white. And they accepted this white Jesus for so many years. But now, it's not a black man that put it out, that showed the paintings, that Jesus is black and the Israelites and whosoever else is black. It's a white man. Putin is what? A black or a white man? It's not a white man showed us finally that Jesus is white. So why are you all getting so upset and texting and carrying on as if it's black people racist? Is you racist? I curse my own when they are wrong. Martin Luther King tell you that don't condone with the wrongs of your own race. If you watch my videos, look in my profile, I curse my own black people when they are wrong. Because a lot of them are wrong. A lot of them are dready. And some are. Because I'm living it, I've been through it. Yeah. A lot of them betrayed us and keep on betraying us. That's why Africa is taking so long to rise. I have all of those videos in my profile. Because I'm living it here. I see the system. As Nelson Mandela told us, you have black domination as you have white domination. I live it here with my black people, doing a whole host of crap and keep selling us out. They are also in the system doing foolishness. Yeah. Is a white man show that Jesus is black, Because some of these white people realize that their own ancestors have been fooling them and lying to them for years. And they know that judgment is upon the land. Judgment is going to be upon them for all of the lies that they have told. They have slaved us, put us through so much hell. Lots of white people know that judgment is upon them. So they want to make their way clear. Because I said it before, white people are going to help us. Guys, not all white people are bad. A lot of you texting and carrying on. Listen, man. Unapologetically. Eh? You want me to say it again? Unapologetically, I say Jesus is black. And I'm not going to take it back. I've been saying it for many years. So I don't give a damn what you want to say. Yeah. You keep on texting and talking about a crap as if I am afraid to say what I mean. Or believe. Or know is true. Jesus is black. And we as chosen know that all along. And we're not gonna apologize for what we know is true. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not racist. I love all people. I talk it all the time in my profile. The videos are there. I love all people once they are with me. Once you're working with me, I'm working with you. You really came from the line of Cain. Yeah. That's why you show that most of all, you really came from the line of Cain. Will always have jealousy and envy. If you came from black people, you, white people, you came from us. And if you came from us, all race came from us, then we have to be the founded creator. The King of Kings is black. Mother Nature is black, is a black woman. She's the source. She gave birth to all race. You're telling me about he is Jewish and he was this and he was that and he was that. The Garden of Eden is in Africa. If you read Genesis, it tell you the river down to the river Nile. Ethiopia. It is right there in Genesis, Ethiopia. Right in when they are talking about the creation of the world and Garden of Eden. Go and read your Bible. That's where mankind was originated from. That's where mankind came from. And that is black people's land. You all came from us. So God has to be black and the goddess has to be black. You're talking about color don't matter. Color matters because why you put everybody, why you taught us that everyone is white. Jesus is white. Mary Magdalene is white. His mother is white. Joseph, white. All of the Israelites, white. Abraham, why you show them in shows that all of them is white if color doesn't matter? If it doesn't matter to you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because I'm not going to apologize for what I say. I say what I say and I'm going to say it again and again and I will say it again and again. Jesus is black and that is it. The truth is out. We're tired of the lies and the foolishness. White people are tired of it too. Lots of them. They know that judgment is upon their heads because of their ancestors. And some of them are trying to make it right. Yeah. The King of Kings is black. Take care of yourself and the Queen will always see you again, my lovely people. Love you.
Welcome back. Let's talk about Jesus. Do you think Jesus was black or Jesus was white? Let's start by saying the Louis Farrakhan's views on Jesus. Louis Farrakhan repeatedly promoted the idea that Jesus was black man, and that Western, especially the European, the depiction of Jesus as white are false or misleading. The belief is tied to wider arguments about how Western culture has projected its own image and religious figures. He critiques the white Jesus imagery. He said that the portrayal of Jesus as white was used historically to support white supremacy and racial hierarchy, and that many people are not taught to accept a black depiction of Jesus because of ingrained culture bias. This man, the leader of Islam, Louis Farrakhan, he often viewed Jesus as a prophet of Allah and not the divine Son of God in the Christian theological sense. This group of Islam does not accept the mainstream Christian doctrine of the Trinity, that Jesus is God incarnate. He sometimes described himself in messianic terms, linking his own mission and suffering with that of Jesus. Yeah, himself. Some speeches blur traditional lines, the speeches he talked, implying he represents a messianic role for black people in the struggle against oppression. But this is controversial and rejected by mainstream Christian theology. So Louis Farrakhan always believed that Jesus was black, but he says that it is misinterpreted because these white people always link Jesus as white because of the historical life of the white people in America. Let's talk about Dr. Umar's views on Jesus. Dr. Umar Johnson is primarily known as a Pan-African activist and a commentator. He's not a theologian or a religious scholar. This man has not extensively published theological doctrine like a church, but his following reflects the themes he expressed in public commentary. He has his critiques of the white Jesus. He has publicly criticized the European portrayal of Jesus as white, calling it a tool of psychological oppression against black people. In his view, the image of white Jesus serves to reinforce white cultural dominance. This man emphasizes that places that show black identity and African heritage are center of discussion about religion and history. He refers to social media clips suggesting biblically that Jesus is white. But he says that the African should understand in their historical concept that Jesus is not white. Okay, according to Johnson, he often emphasizes Pan-African identity over religious rebels. He sometimes critiques Western Christianity and other imported religious systems for how they have been used historically in the oppression of black people. It doesn't necessarily mean he denies Jesus historically, but he is more focused on liberation, identity, and cultural empowerment than traditional Christian doctrine. So for Dr. Umar, he claims that he believes that Jesus was black, but the white think because of the history of America that Jesus was white. So he tells the Africans to believe that Jesus was black. So this is what they see. They see Jesus was black and the white depictions are false. Okay, Louis Farrakhan, we have talked about him. He says that Jesus was black and that Western portrays of him being white are misleading. He terms Jesus as a prophet with an important role, but not God in the traditional Christian sense. This man, Umar, criticizes the idea of Jesus being white. Now you're understanding why they're called Jesus. The white people feel that Jesus should be white. So this is why people really get bad or really get furious when they hear that Jesus was black, because of things like cultural ownership of Jesus. It challenges it. Because for centuries, the West, they have painted Jesus as white, used as a symbol of European Christianity, tied to Western power, churches and empires and identity. And when Jesus is presented as black or non-white, it breaks the idea that Jesus belongs to one culture that they believe is white. For some people, the white, they feel like they are losing ownership, they are losing familiarity and losing authority over religious imagery. It is uncomfortable when sometimes you have always been reflected as you suddenly isn't reflected again. Another thing that gets these white people very furious, it exposes the history, not just the theology in America. Black Jesus reminds people of uncomfortable truths. Christianity was used during slavery and colonization. Enslaved Africans were told to obey a white-looking Christ. Religion was sometimes weaponed to justify inequality. So when Jesus is shown as black, it forces a question many would rather avoid. So if Jesus looked like the oppressed, why did we side with the oppressor? This is the tension that makes these white people very defensive. Okay, other white people confuse symbolism with accusation. When many people hear Jesus was white or Jesus was black, white people believe they are wrong. White people believe they now become evil, or they believe their faith is fake. Even when that's not being said, it feels like it's an accusation for them, because they have always believed that Jesus is white, and they believe they are right that time. They believe they are the right ones. They believe they are not fake. But now it's depicted that Jesus is black. They feel like they are wrong. Another thing that causes furiosity among these white people is race was never supposed to be part of faith, but it was. Many white Christians genuinely believe that Jesus' color doesn't matter. Faith should be the color blind. That sounds good, but it ignores that Jesus' white image was emphasized for centuries. Color only doesn't matter once power is secure. So when black people raise the issue, it feels like bringing race into religion, even though race was already there. It feels like the black people are the racist ones, though racism has been there for the longest. Another reason which is getting these white people to be confused is fear of losing moral high ground. A black Jesus flips the narrative. He looks like the enslaved, not the slave holder. He looks like the marginalized, not the ruler. He speaks against systems of power. He raises an hard question. If Jesus was alive today, whose side would he be? He would be on the black people or the white people? So this creates a lot of tension among these white people. You have to know that it's not all the white people who believe that Jesus should be white. And it's not all the white people who are upset that Jesus is black. Many accept Jesus as a Middle Eastern, and many reject these rationalized imagery entirely. So the backlash often comes from people who are tied to Jesus as an identity or power, and the institution that benefited from a specific image of Christ being white. So the discomfort of making Jesus black person is about power, history, control, and privilege. So for the white people to accept and believe that Jesus is black is something that's not easy, and that's why they get furious. They feel like they are wrong, they are evil, they've been doing all things fake, and this creates tension amongst them. It makes them feel so bad. Yeah, now you understand why these people portray Jesus as black. They say that Jesus should be not said. Some pastors say that Jesus should not be white, Jesus should not be black. But again, they come and say that Jesus should be kind of black because he existed when the black people existed. You remember that the black people are the origin of this world. So that's what they believe. What do you believe? Please leave a comment down there. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you subscribe on this YouTube channel, and let's meet on the next video.